name is John Evanchuk, driver, owner. My wife and I own the Red Wolf Top Alcohol Funny Car, proudly sponsored by AFD, Alberta Fuel Petroleum Distributors, Alberta Fuel Distributors. The associate sponsors, Phil Hall Industries, Remote Recreation Remote Solutions, and we have just a whole bunch of people that support us. RWR Trucking out of Camrose, Cougar Paint and Collision did the paint work on the car, their design, their choice of colors, and we race the car typically on the West Coast, Edmonton, West. We just finished running a regional race for the other sanctioning body, the National Hot Rod Association in Mission. Car did really well there. We ran 567, 568 and 568 in qualifying. It was very consistent, 255 miles an hour. On the coast at sea level, we were probably making at that point close to 4,000 horsepower with it, and had a very consistent car that weekend, did really well. Now this weekend we're in Edmonton. The air conditions are a little different, the weather conditions. The actual altitude is much different here than on the coast. So, you know, we start with a base altitude of about 2,300 feet, and factor in the humidity and the air temperature, the ambient temperature, and we're probably working with a corrected density altitude of about, I'm going to say 4,600 to 5,000 feet, which is considerably higher, and of course we have less air, we have less horsepower. So, you know, nothing on the motor changes, so we have to try and adapt with gear ratios and whatnot. We would really like to be able to run 5.80 seconds here, maybe get close to 250 miles an hour this weekend. And we'll be running against a couple of our real good friends here who are just top-notch racers. They're just, well, the Sin-Oil car is one of the best on the points series that we chase as well, along the West Coast and down into the States. And Greg Sarita in his Top Alcohol dragster, very good racers, fast cars. We're going to have to be on our game. We're going to have to do a good job to race with them this weekend, and hopefully pull out one win anyway, or a couple would be real nice, but they're going to be doing the same thing, and they're going to be hard to beat because of that. Now the car's got a, it's a Brad Anderson designed Hemi engine in it, billet block, billet heads, PSI screw type supercharger with, we run a carbon fiber injector on it with an Enderley fuel barrel valve on it for the fuel system. Our fuel system is been tuned and designed by Advanced Power Systems, Randy Anderson in California. So that's what we work with to try and make the horsepower, the ultimate horsepower we can get. Fuel system, air with the blower, fuel-air ratio is what we try to perfect for our horsepower. Now, that leads up to myself talking about my crew, because racing this car is not at all possible without having a good crew and a lot of good people around you and a lot of good people behind you. And I've had a really good, strong crew working with me for years now. Of course, my wife Ruth Walters. We have a crew chief that works with us on the West Coast, Billy Moore, and his wife Charlene helps, but they're unable to make it this weekend, so I'll be doing the tuning duties myself. My crew chief will be JD Dennis, who has been my pit crew boss for 6 or 7 years now, and just does an excellent job of having the car prepared. He keeps all the guys working on their jobs and making sure that the jobs are done adequately, and safety is a big factor on these cars. They of course can be animals at times and very dangerous.